fast, short cuts. I don't like fast, short cuts. So, just really, really hyper, like you're afraid that you got to get everything into a 30-second commercial. I don't like that. That's not real life, and that's sort of hyperactive, right? It's not real. So I don't like that. Having said that, you're going to see that this is maybe unedited. Maybe it's not. Maybe I will edit this down. But I'm getting to a point where in this list, I want to just bring it back to what I'm talking about here is user experience. It's not so much the technical, but what I'm trying to do is extract some basic habits or rules for myself so that I can consistently create these aspects in the user experience for the videos and how I communicate. So I'm not following this rule right now, multiple camera angles. I'm not following that. But I don't like fast, short cuts. Now, another thing I don't like, I'm going to add it here because it's so related and I'm running out of space. I'm going to say, or jump cuts. Little quotes around jump cuts. So jump cuts are, you probably already know, it's when someone's editing and they only have a single camera. And so when they want to cut something out, the only option is to either cut or fade. And to me, I don't like either one, but I like fading a little bit more because I use it as a joke to say time has passed. So fade usually means you've been talking for a while and you use a fade when you kind of, okay, he's been talking for a while, now you move on. Because I talk for a while, sometimes I make a joke about myself doing that by using a fade. However, the solution to that is to have multiple camera angles, even if it's just a behind the scenes shot. So if you have a moment where you're going to cut something out, instead of staying on one shot, if you've got either multiple camera angles like a wide and a tight, or you have a behind the scenes camera, that's another reason to have that, is you can use that to cover up a cut. Now, you can also, the funny thing is you could roll behind the scenes for a short, like 5-minute period. And if you don't talk with your hands a lot, like sometimes I do, you can use a wider angle behind the scenes shot and you can't see your mouth closely, so you don't have to be in sync with the audio necessarily. So behind the scenes shots are better, in my opinion, if they are real, meaning you record that for the entire time. But my number one recommendation for a behind the scenes camera is a GoPro Hero 4 or newer, 4 Silver. And the reason for that is very inexpensive. But the problem with that as a behind the scenes camera is it can't run for a long duration. We all know that about GoPros. They don't have endless capacity as far as processor, and they overheat, things like that. So you might need to do that trick of using your behind the scenes camera, if it's a GoPro, out of sync with the actual recording. Just try to not use your hands too much or whatever, and then you can hopefully cover that up. Or else, if you have a few different hands gestures while you are in the short GoPro recording, then you can use that, and they'll never know. I like to make it as real as possible, and I don't like to do that. I'd rather not have to fake a shot just to get rid of a jump cut, but it's not too fake because it's still you in the same environment during the same recording period and same lighting and everything. So it's not very, it's the closest thing to being real if you want to fudge it just a little bit. Now, having said that, I'm going to go to the next one, and I don't like